Good evening, my friends, and welcome back to Mainland Common here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. This is the final game, the Gold Medal Championship of the 2017 CCAA Women's Soccer Nationals. I'm Scott Squires, along with my broadcast partner, James Wise. The intrepid Brian Fisher is our technical producer here today. And the two teams at center field that are getting ready to face off in this gold medal matchup, no strangers to one another. Quebec, provincial foes, rivals, if you will. The team from Champlain, the Saint-Lambert, the Cavaliers, 6-1-3 on the regular year, just that one loss. And the Garneau Hélène from Quebec City, undefeated on the year, 7 wins, no losses, 3 draws. And these two teams met twice during the season. They met once in the regular year. Back on September 24th, it was a 0-0 draw. And they met once again not too long ago in the Quebec provincial final. And again, a very tight game. Only 1 goal scored, and it belonged to Garneau. And the goal scorer was Isabel, and she got the game winner. And the Garneau Hélène won the provincial championship 1-0. But now a chance, James, for St. Lambert to get a little bit of revenge. I don't think they'd feel as bad about losing the provincial final if they could defeat Garneau here in the national final.
Oh, no sprinter ever worries about losing the prelim as long as they win the gold in the final. And absolutely, Champlain is relishing a battle against Garneau. They are bitter rivals from Quebec, and the two will really put on a show here, I expect, in the final. We've been really spoiled today already with 3 great matches. The last one at the Algonquin Thunder, going past the Nate Ooks of the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology to claim the bronze medal. Before that, we saw the Douglas Royals surpass the Grand Prairie Wolves to finish in the 5-6 spots. And before that, the St. Thomas Tommies from Moncton overpowered the Dal AC Rams from Truro to finish off in the 7-8 spot. So this is the 4th and final match of today's coverage and the last of the tournament here, gold medals on the line.
Well, wherever you're watching, we are very excited to have you with us. Make sure that you've got a secure seat or wherever you might be, because this is going to be a dandy. There's no question about it. Talking to both teams before the game, they are raring and ready to go, and they cannot wait to get a chance here to go at it one more time, the 3rd time that these teams meet this season, and it comes in the finale of the CCAA soccer season right here in Halifax. The goalkeeper starting for Garneau, Anne-Marie Laroche, and at the other end, it's Rebecca Gosselin in goal for St. Lambert, the Cavaliers. So the Cavaliers and the Hélène, gold on the line here in Halifax.
And already off to a very quick start. This will go behind for a corner for Champlain. Immediately off the kickoff, you can see the Champlain offense clipped long for Rimayard, number 2 in white, trying to catch her on the through ball early. We've learned over the last 3 days how quick and agile she can be, and quite a good finisher when she gets in front of net.
So inside the first minute here, a set-piece corner kick for the Cavaliers. These two teams again, this is crossed in, header there, comes down to the ground. There's one player trying to get a chip toward the goal, and Laroche tested early, just a minute in. But she's equal to the task, makes the save. Not a bad first attempt on that corner. So a good start, as you say, for the Cavaliers, giving them a little bit of confidence. So we'll see if goals will be at a premium here. As mentioned, these two teams played twice, once in the regular season and in the Quebec provincial final, and only 1 goal scored in those 2 games. So we'll see here. You would think if a team can get a goal that it could potentially stand up, because goals at a premium when these two teams meet.
Absolutely. Both two very technical sides. But here,
working with the ball now is Langlois. Keep an eye on her. She's one of those players that can make some things happen for this Garneau team. You'll see them quite often go to that back line, very comfortable going to the back line and kind of regrouping and starting forward once again from there. There's a ball through the middle, cleared away neatly by Lefebvre-Lalonde. The Cavaliers, great fans on hand here, a boisterous contingent of both Cavalier fans as well as Elan fans.
I think there might even be some Algonquin fans that have still rowdy from the last game and wanting to stick around for one more.
On the high of the bronze medal and some pizza that we saw them getting delivered after their bronze medal victory. Congratulations, of course, to the Algonquin Thunder on their third place bronze medal. Exciting to be able to come to nationals overall, but certainly when you can leave with a medal, even that much more special. Working with that ball now is Krauthe-Bars. She kind of tripped over top of it now, but gets it ahead to that speedy Remillard. Remillard can make things happen down that wing. Tried to cross it over, but it's intercepted there, and the Garneau Elan will come right back with it. Nice little chip forward there. Cheeky move as they try to get it down now to Langlois. Langlois there tries to put it across underneath the pressure of Huard. And the Cavaliers will just gather that ball up and calmly set it back to their keeper, Gosselin.
Well, you're wondering, it's very clear that the Champlain Cavaliers wanted to come out guns blazing here, but of course that's not sustainable for the whole match in reality. I'm wondering if we're going to start to see things settle down a little bit. The Garneau side a little bit more tactical already, taking their time a little more. We know they like to get possession in the midfield, and that's exactly what they're trying to do now. The Remillard, there the Cavaliers looking for her again on the through ball. She kind of has been the go-to option so far here in the first 3.5 minutes.
Full darkness here in this mid-November evening. Just past 5:30 Atlantic time, about -4 degrees, wind chill of about -5 or 6. The breeze isn't too bad right now. It's
bad.
The native of Knoxville, Tennessee, not liking that wind chill at all. Ball out toward midfield. Sent up ahead now. They'll try to work it forward again. That is Blanc. Marianne Blanc had 4 goals on the regular year for this Cavalier side. Krauthe-Bars kind of got tangled up there with the defender from the Elan. And the play gets whistled down. Just about 4.5 minutes into this first half. So early going here between these two Quebec provincial rivals. They know each other well, and, well, one of them are going to have bragging rights for the remainder of the year. That ball chipped forward. Stopped down smartly there, but attacking up right away was Giroux Lapointe. Cavaliers will send it down the field. Dessel will pick it up there and just roll it calmly back to the keeper, Laroche.
And this is what we saw a lot of from Garneau in their previous games. They don't like to be too rushed with their offense. They like to swing the ball around through the midfield, even getting up to the striker and knocking it back into the midfield and shuffling it around. Nothing too direct from this Garneau side.
4 players on this Saint-Lambert Cavaliers team had 4 goals, leading the way for the team on the regular year. Already mentioned Marianne Blanc with 4. Karima Lemire had 4, Stephanie Kouzis 4, and Cheyenne Wiley-Gordon with 4. So sharing the offense around on this Cavalier team. We'll get to some of the goal-scoring leaders on that Elan team in a moment, and one of them, one of the coaches from the Garneau Elan, referred to her as their super sub today, Judy Gagnon, numero 10, number 10, for this Elan team. By far and away the leading goal scorer on this Garneau team. She had 10 in the regular year. Next closest on the team was Daphne Blouin, who had 3. And again, when I talked to them, to the to the Elan team about Judy Gagnon, they said, yeah, she's not starting today. She's our super sub. So awfully nice when you can bring a 10-goal scorer off the bench.
Other teams would be so lucky.
Cavaliers control that ball now into the middle, bounce down there. Nice little pass back. That ball is lifted high and wide off the foot of Marianne Blanc, one of the 4 leading goal scorers on the St. Lambert Cavalier team. And I did check with one of the coaches because I had been using more of the en français pronunciation for St. Lambert. But it is, even though there's a number of French students at the school, it is mainly a English directed school, so to speak. So I was told that St. Lambert is acceptable. And as far as location for St. Lambert, it's located about a 10-minute walk if you know the Montreal area at all. Very well known for their metro or their subway. And the St. Lambert School is about 10-minute walk or so from the Longueuil Montreal Sherbrooke University metro station. And it's just across the St. Lawrence River from the beautiful city of Montreal. So it's located close to Longueuil and just across the St. Lawrence from Montreal. So this is kind of, in terms of anybody that knows sports and knows Canadian provinces, provincially, this basically is a battle of Montreal and Quebec. Two arch rivals on many levels in the province of Quebec, not the least of which are on the sporting front. So not only is there the school rivalry, the conference rivalry, but there's the rivalry of the cities as well.
Precisely.
Of Quebec City and Longueuil, Montreal area. Not quite up to the 10-minute mark yet. Just a little over 8 minutes gone by in this gold medal contest between the St. Lambert Cavaliers from Champlain and the Garneau Elan.
And the fan base is kind of cheering at each other here, seeing who can compete in terms of decibel level. Like you said, still only in the first 10 minutes.
Competing cheers, and I only imagine that will grow as this game moves along into the latter stages, not only of this half, but into the second half as well. As mentioned, this Cavaliers team, 6-1-3 on the year, just the one defeat. Their only loss in the regular season was to Hunsik back on October 15th, a 2-0 loss. The only blemish on this Cavalier record, to go along with 3 draws, 6 wins, a .750 win percentage. And for the Garneau Elan, as mentioned, no losses on the year, 3 draws, 7 wins to lead the way in the Quebec Conference, an .850 winning percentage. So certainly two very talented sides here meeting in this final. Of course, as we mentioned, the Garneau Elan defeated St. Lambert Cavaliers 1-0 in the Quebec Provincial Final. And because the Quebec Conference is so strong, the Cavaliers were awarded the wild card spot here in the national final. Just over 9.5 minutes gone by here, and still really, other than that corner kick early on, James, it's kind of been a battle of the mid-third.
Absolutely. Both teams trying to kind of solidify possession, get their offense running cleanly.
A couple players down to the turf there, and that wasn't clean at all, as going down was Malo. Keep an eye on her, number 2 in black, Eve Malo. She kind of really stirs the drink from the midfield area for the Elan, and from time to time, when she's feeling it, if she sees an open look at goal, whether she's 30, 35, or even 40 yards away, we've seen her a couple of times just bombs away and launch that ball on goal. So again, keep an eye on Malo. She's a tricky one out there for the Elan. And there is Malo reaching for that ball. It'll go by her, just pushed forward by Metavier. Garneau now working with that ball. The two number 2s come together. Malo for Garneau and Remillard for the Cavaliers. It'll chip up forward there. That one off the side of Blouin. Ball along the ground, and again, just seeing the majority of the play in the middle third of this field. Save for that one corner opportunity in the first minute by the Cavaliers. It's kind of been right around the midfield stripe, 20 yards either side.
And a lot of fouls I'm seeing already. Just a lot of free kicks in the middle area. You've seen the referee kind of have talking to with 1 or 2 players. You know, this is, like you said, a high tension. Here's Remillard.
Coming out to challenge was the defender, but as you said, Remillard, she can just all of a sudden see space and put those jets on, and she tried to do it there but got stopped by the last line of defense.
And she'll be called for a foul even there with the follow through on the tackle. And it's like I said, a lot on the line here from terms of a provincial, school, city rivalry, and things may be getting a little trippy out there on the turf.
Cavaliers working with that ball, and as we again, just early stages, but as we're talking about the majority of the play kind of being in the middle third, from a possession standpoint, though, at least to my judgment, through the first 12 minutes, it's been the Cavaliers who have kind of had a little more of ball possession. Not that means a whole lot, but they have come out here and have a little bit of confidence.
Absolutely. I think that their coaching staff very much wanted to hammer into them the mentality that they don't need to play afraid here. They've got nothing to lose, and they really want to take it to this Garneau squad right off the first whistle, and that's what they've done. That being said, Garneau does not rattle easily, and so it'll be a good and interesting dynamic to watch as this game continues, see who can maintain their focus longer. Garneau, a very well-drilled side, but you might say that motivation is with Champlain a little bit more.
And I talked to the coaching staff of both teams beforehand and asked them, saying, well, we'll finish that thought in a second as the ball goes out of bounds, but, saying to them, hey, you know each other well. There's not going to be any tricks here, but, what do you feel are a couple of keys to success? And on the Cavalier side of things, 3 things that they listed as keys to success for Cavaliers to be victorious today. They want to be first on the ball. They don't want the players to be hesitant. They want to see less hesitation. So in other words, if you want to do something, whether it's offense, defense, pass, whatever, shoot, don't hesitate, commit to it and do it. And they want to stay away from the long ball. The coaching staff saying that the Garneau Elan very comfortable playing that long ball forward, trying to stretch out the defense and get in behind, and the Cavaliers want to avoid that. So again, they want to be first on the ball, little less hesitation, and to really try and avoid that Garneau Elan long ball forward.
Absolutely, and I think that point you said about staying focused, this Garneau side is very well drilled, and so they think quickly and react quickly, and Champlain can't really allow themselves to get too caught up in decision making. It's better for them to think on the fly and make decisions and maybe make some mistakes than tinker and wait too long and let themselves fall into a sense of false security.
Collision over there. We've seen some physical play as Blouin went down 11 in black, and the Cavaliers back the other way. Trying to reach for it was Krauthe Bars. She did the splits, and the ball went right by her. Cavaliers confident on the ball right now. And to the point of the coaching staff, less hesitation. They are not hesitating at all. Whatever move it is they're making, they seem to be making it quickly and with confidence.
Absolutely. I think that, like I said, Champlain is not playing like the team that is – because at least according to the records and previous meetings, Champlain is considered the underdog here, and also according to the seeds, they're the underdog, and they're not playing like it. They're not playing as if they're afraid of Garneau, and I think that Garneau, while being a very well-drilled team, it may be caught a little off guard here.
Ball over on this near side now. Here comes Garneau. Down the left side, ball forward, trying to see if they could spring Langlois away. But again, covering up there are the Cavaliers, and they'll just go back to the keeper, Gosselin, and they'll move it forward. Ball through there, goes by everybody, and it'll go all the way down to the other keeper, Laroche. And on the other side of things, talking to the Garneau Elan head coach, Vincent Cornoyer, he again was very quick when I asked him about his 3 keys for victory today for the Elan to keep their streak going. They are the 3-time defending national champions. He said they really want to keep the ball on the ground, so move it along on the ground as much as they can. They really want to be able to win any kind of 1v1 battle. They want to come out on top of as many of those as they can. And the other one that he said was really important was for his team to be able to transition from defense to offense really quickly.
I think that's kind of the DNA of this Garneau squad. They're very, very pacey on the wings, which means when they get turnovers on the flanks or in the middle, they can spray it out wide quick and get into transition. Langlois is kind of the definition of that in a player. We see her get up and down the pitch very, very quickly. Her turnover is fantastic despite her size, and she can really get up to speed quickly and cause a lot of havoc on the defensive lines of other teams.
16 and a half minutes gone by here. And Garneau now tries to make a run down the far side over there on the right. They've got a couple of players heading toward the middle into the box, but again, it's the Cavaliers who get there and step into that ball and move it back toward midfield. So Garneau right now having a hard time just trying to organize on offense. And speaking of transition, there the Cavaliers trying to transition from defense to offense. Stopped over there on the far side. Krafthe is trying to hinder. They'll chip it back toward midfield, taking off the chest there. And they spring Langlois, trying to get it to her, and a smart play there as Lefebvre Lalonde just broke it up. Langlois thought she might have a break in there. We are scoreless, 0-0 in this CCAA Women's National Soccer Championship Final. So glad to have you with us, checking out our broadcast here. It's been so much fun bringing you all the action from Halifax all week long. Quality soccer, a great event. Tip of the cap to the Dow Agricultural Campus Rams, as well as the University of King's College Blue Devils for co-hosting this national event. It's been first class all the way.
Here a throw-in for Garneau in a very advantageous position. You can hear their fans getting rowdy on the right side of the bus here. They're not going to be too reckless in committing numbers forward, but maybe move a couple into the box.
1v1 battle well over on that far side of the field.
Looks like there's a foul. It'll go against Garneau. And I do have to wonder whether all of the referee staff is fluent in French. Just might break down the lines of communication.
Well, I guess the counter side of that is the majority of these players, while a lot of them are francophone, quite comfortable and fluent in English.
That's true. When I walked by the locker room, all of the pump-up songs were in English, I found, so.
I wish my overall conversational French was as good as these players are in English. Although I like to say that my sports French is quite good. I've been a sports fan of Montreal-based teams for, well, pretty much my whole life. So I've kind of absorbed a lot of sports French over the years. Ball in there. Mello tried to get in for it. Cavaliers again do a nice job of covering up, and they'll come down the field on that far side. Nice footwork there as they try to dribble through a crowd. Cavaliers winning those one-on-one battles, getting to those loose balls. And it's the Cavaliers who are winning the battles, at least right now in the early stages. And if that continues, the Cavaliers' confidence only going to grow. A couple players come together there at midfield. That was Letelier for Garneau and Lemire for the Cavaliers.
Interesting, both Lemire and Massambo for Champlain being deployed in a little bit of a deeper position than we're used to seeing them. Perhaps that's to contend with the offensive prowess of Garneau here in this first half. Might see them open up into a little bit more advanced position as the game goes on. Garneau here on the counterattack almost.
Jalou Lepointe tried to work it through, and it'll just be calmly cleared up. Massambo went up there and tried to get a header against Metivier, but Metivier won that ball. And it's cleared down to the far side. Jogging after it over there is Marie-Laurence Marquis. This Garneau team got here by way of a semifinal victory over Hunsik, 2-1. And that game went to PKs, penalty kicks. So a nail-biter in the semifinal as Garneau beat a Hunsik. And then as mentioned in the provincial final, they beat the St. Lambert team 1-0. On the other side, the Cavaliers in their semifinal defeated Saint-Foy by a score of 2-0. The goal scorers there were Kouzis and Massambo, and it was actually Massambo who got the game-winning goal in that semifinal versus Saint-Foy. So that's the map of how these two teams got to their provincial finals. And, of course, Garneau, by way of that provincial title, came to nationals. And as mentioned, the Cavaliers with the wild card. All the steps along the way to get to this gold medal game. And we've got 21 minutes plus have come off the clock here in this first half. Still looking for our first goal, and really the only kind of ball that's been toward the goal on either side was that, again, corner kick within the first minute. That was a pretty good chance, and Laroche had to be sharp. But other than that, there's been really no test of either keeper.
I mean, I think it's just a game of chess right now in the midfield, trying to get control and possession and manipulate the game. Neither team really settling to take the back seat here, both kind of fighting with one another for control of that midfield.
A great crowd energy going here at Mainland Common this evening. Really adds to the atmosphere when you get a good soccer crowd into the game and you get those cheers going.
I know enough to say that alley means go, and then they're saying another word. I'm not sure what that is, but
we are hearing lots of alley, alley, alley.
In the corner here for Champlain on the left-hand side.
So let's see. They play this one a little differently, going along the ground with it. They'll try to play it back. Now curl it in. A couple of players trying to get ahead on it there, and it's lifted up high and over the goal.
And it'll be out for another corner, according to the referee. Took a deflection off a Garneau player on its way out.
So we'll see now if they use that same strategy of doing the little give and go along the ground, or if they'll go with the more conventional long ball into the box. Now this one curls in. Masombo was there. Couldn't get a clean look. And it'll come out to this near side, and it'll go out of bounds. I think it last went off a Cavalier player. Nope, they're saying it went off a Garneau player, so it's a throw-in for the Cavaliers, taken quickly by Beauvais. Down now for Akuzis.
It's surprising, but it looks like Garneau's a little shaken here, which is uncustomary of what we've seen in the first couple games from them. Maybe a little about this pressure from Champlain is shaking them up.
Well, certainly the Cavaliers have come out brimming with confidence. There's a ball forward by Lemire into the box. Chance there. Ball is loose, cleared off the line. Initial save by Laroche, and she was saved by her backline defense as it was cleared away, but another close call in front of that Garneau goal.
Lemire clipped it into Remillard, who had the initial header that Laroche had to deflect. And like you said, cleared away by the Garneau back line. Desperate defending for the girls in neon and black.
The Cavaliers in those sharp-looking white kits with the black shorts, left to right. And Garneau equally sharp-looking in their all black with the neon green, as you mentioned, going right to left here in this half. Coming up now to 25 minutes into the 25th minute. Still 0-0, but the only scoring chances have been to our right and have come from the Cavaliers toward the Garneau goal. Laroche has certainly been the busier of the two keepers. Not overly busy, but definitely more busy than Rebecca Gosselin down at the other end. Here's a ball through now. Much too far for Kouzis, and Laroche will grab that and kind of give some hand directions to her mates up front, getting them where she wants them before she puts this back into play. And look at that onrush there, and it almost works. Krauthe Bars. She steals the ball. Can she spin with it? My goodness, what a play. Dynamic move there from number 8, Dalia Krauthe Bars. And maybe catching Amélie Laroche, the keeper, off guard. Ibers saw the opportunity, and almost like you'd see a linebacker rushing the quarterback in football on a blitz, Krauthe Bars came in and actually took that kick from the keeper off of her back, James, and then fought for it and almost was able to put that in. That would have been something.
That would have. That would have been a very unsatisfying goal to concede by Garneau, and we just saw the first card of the match produced. It'll go against number 10 of Saint-Lambert, Champlain, which is
Karima Lemire.
Lemire picking up the first card there for that rash tackle in around midfield, and there'll be a free kick to Garneau.
Dessel puts it along the ground to the right. So Krauthe Bars with a energetic and dynamic play. And again, Laroche coming out, and she kicked that away. And I'm not sure if that was Krauthe Bars again, who kind of got bowled over. And the player from the Cavaliers still down well to our right, while play is upfield on the other end to our left.
And that was number 8, Krauthe Bars. I don't think there was any, malice in that follow-through from Laroche. She's just trying to get the ball away, and she carried through into Krauthe Bars. Krauthe Bars back up on her feet, though, and pressing like nothing had hit her a minute ago.
Well, the intensity picks up here as the time ticks off the clock. And another tackle there right in front of our position, and you can really now, James, start to sense the intensity level ratcheting up just a little.
And you can tell that the referee is trying to get and maintain control of this, now having a word with Krauthe Bars about, she seemed a fair distance away from that foul, perhaps something she might have said. Langlois with the foul there, and this will be clipped long by Champlain.
I wonder if Krauthe-Bars might have been commenting about that play earlier where
the no call.
Where LaRoche came out to kick it away and kind of bowled her over. I don't think LaRoche intended to do it.
No.
But I'm sure if you're a Bars, Krauthe-Bars, you're thinking, hey, she didn't have to run me over. So again, the pressure cooker starts to get hotter here between these two Quebec rivals. And for the Cavaliers, they are chomping at the bit to end this dynasty-like run of the Garneau Elan. They've appeared in 9 of the last 12 national championships. They've had 5 consecutive appearances in the gold medal game, and they've won the last 3, have the Garneau Elan. So the Cavaliers are just dying to end that streak.
Well, and you'd think, actually, talking about the pressure cooker, I think even if everyone on the field was completely well-disciplined and there were no tackles, the fans alone would be, making a pressure cooker of their own.
Nice run there by Langlois down the side. She went a little deep, tried to put it over from the side and hit the side of the goal, but a pretty good run there for Ariane Langlois.
Coming up on 30 minutes now. Chances for both teams. Nothing super clean, though, although you would have to say that the bulk of opportunities have gone the way of Champlain.
Garneau puts that ball down. Trying to get a foot on it there was Letellier, and it gets cleared away by the Cavaliers. Krzysztof Micik, the coach of the Cavaliers, the native of Poland, looking to guide his team to a national championship. And head coach Vincent Cornelier from the Garneau Elan, former keeper for the Laval Rouge et Or from 2008 to 2012, also a former pro player in Belgium, as well as for the Montreal Impact, and he is trying to keep the string going here for the Garneau Elan.
That's quite a resume for the coach there. Played professionally in the Belgian Bundesliga and then later in the Impact. That's no small accomplishments.
Two very good coaches here for these two teams. Not surprising that these two teams would be up at the upper levels of the Quebec Conference and here at the Nationals. Two very good programs and very good leadership at the top as well. So these players are in good stead playing for these programs at both Champlain St. Lambert College as well as the Garneau Elan.
That'll go just out of bounds where the Garneau player could get there. That was Giroux Lapointe trying to get the contact on it to get it long.
So we are, as you said, coming up to a half an hour. And to echo what we talked about off the top, you wondered if goals might be, at a minimum, two teams playing twice on the year, once in the regular season, once in the championship final for Quebec Conference. Just the one goal in those 2 games total. Masombo tried to work it through there. Krauthe-Bars was looking to make a run. Comes back now to Kouzis. She's got some goal-scoring talent herself, scoring 4 goals on the regular season.
And Krauthe-Bars just caught offside there. She had made the initial run for the feed there on the through ball and hadn't gotten back on side by the time the second one came through.
Which team will it be to get the banner, the medals, and to hoist that championship trophy? What player may be the hero here this evening? One of the beautiful things of sports is that is a script unwritten, and you don't know the final chapter and how the story ends until the final whistle blows. Up now, this is Mello. Calm there, she works it over, and they'll just go back to the keeper, LaRoche, as they want to set up. And there's Krauthe-Bars again. Not sure what she's got against LaRoche, but she keeps coming in there trying to bug the Garneau goaltender. Maybe trying to get inside of her head just a little bit. And here she comes now. Couldn't get a good kick away as it just kind of went off the bottom of her foot, but Krauthe-Bars with a chance. And, again, I look at it, of course, it's a game, but maybe just a little bit of gamesmanship from number 8 in white, Thalia Krauthe-Bars, maybe just trying to rattle the Garneau keeper just a little bit.
I mean, Garneau has not yet conceded at this tournament. Then again, Champlain has actually, if we remember correctly. I believe they did concede a penalty. Don't hold me to that, though. We've watched a lot of soccer here. these last 4 days. I do know for a fact, though, that Garneau has not yet conceded, and LaRoche has largely been untested, although Massambo on a run here.
Massambo, she had the game winner in the Cavaliers semifinal against Saint Foy, trying to get something going here. Great tenacity by 14 in white, Olga Massambo. Back now toward midfield. The Cavaliers again will gather it right there. Nice job, though, to win that ball by the Garneau Elan. They'll work it down the far sideline. And it goes out of play, but it will be a throw-in for the Elan.
It occurs to me now there's a name that we haven't said in some time, and that's Alexis Remeillard, and it seems that Garneau may have found her number and picked her out here, although right as we say that, she gets the ball, makes a run, and is fouled for a free kick. Go ahead.
Big collision there, as you're saying. Remeillard gets the ball and ran into the defender, but I think they are marking her very closely. They know that Alexia Remeillard is certainly a player that has been electrifying in this tournament and has seemed to have had an extra gear when needed. So it appears that the Garneau Elan marking number 2 in white very closely here.
I mean, anybody who watched the gold medal semifinal will know. You know, she came up with that third goal to push them through, and she really did have an extra gear and continues to, particularly on through balls and long balls that other people just can't quite get to.
Into the 34th minute. Here's a chance now on the right side. Crossed in, punched away. A great shot from about 20 yards out. And the first time that Rebecca Gosselin has been tested, and she's equal to the challenge, as that was a tricky-looking low drive that she just hugged over to that near post and punched it away.
And if I'm not mistaken, this will be the first corner kick for Garneau this half. It took them 33 minutes, 34 actually, to get their first corner. We'll see how they handle the set piece now.
So after all of this, could Garneau make something happen here? A couple of players go up. There's a chance there on the second one as Malo takes another crack at it. And again from outside, Langlois. So the first real good offensive push from Garneau. So we'll see if that can kind of shake the cobwebs here for the defending champs and get them moving a little more toward the Cavalier goal.
Seems like there have been lots of glancing blows in the midfield and attacking thirds for both of these teams. No one's really been able to land a haymaker yet.
Gosselin to the left. It'll converge on the ball carrier. Chipped ahead, Massambo tries to do a little cheeky move to put it up over the defender. Comes down to Kraut the Burs. Tries to get it to Remeillard now, and Remeillard offside on that far side. I don't think she sees the flag as she kept going.
And I think that they're just going to play it, which is you're not supposed to do, I don't think. Like, I guess you could theoretically play advantage on the offside. Very odd series of plays there. The center referee not seeing the flag apparently and did not whistle the play dead. At least I didn't hear a whistle.
Well, that would have been interesting because when Remeillard made that run and they tried to chip her the ball, very clearly the official on the side raised the flag to indicate what I thought was offside, which is what I called. But the play kept carrying on, and Remeillard actually got to the ball. I'm wondering what would have happened had that ball gone in the goal.
Surely the sideline official would have had to lead the flag up. I have seen in cases, there's a through ball, the flag goes up, and the offensive player realizes they're offside and just stop running. And the goalkeeper gets
Massambo now, all alone. Massambo, can she open the scoring? Oh, what a save! Massambo down, the ball to the back. And the score remains 0-0. Oh, my, Massambo will want that back. But what a save by Anne-Marie Laroche.
And you have to think now, Laroche has just been a wall in front of that goal so far. And you can't help but thinking that maybe the goal's starting to shrink a little bit for Massambo and this host of Champlain players. Big save there by Laroche.
I mean, Massambo had nobody within 5 yards of her, front, back, or either side. And out came Laroche, and Massambo just couldn't lift it up over top. Aggressive move, great save, and now the corner. Ball down to the turf and goes out behind, but my goodness, and when Massambo went down after that shot was saved. I'm sure her initial thought was, I don't believe it.
I mean, LaRoche did everything right there, though. She made a decision immediately as Musambo approached, said, I'm going to rush out and you know, try and get this ball at the feet of Musambo. She made herself as big as possible when Musambo went to take that shot, tried to cover as much as the goal as she could, and it worked out, got a deflection and forced it out of bounds. Great goalkeeping.
Well, you've got to have a great team from the goal out, and Anne-Marie Laroche providing great keeping right now for Garneau, and that has got to be frustrating for the Cavaliers. But the positive thing is for the Cavaliers, they're getting chances. Here's Malo now with a long ball through. And very calm on the back end are the Cavaliers so far in this game. They haven't given up too many chances up through the middle behind their back line. They've done a great job of regrouping on defense and stopping any kind of Garneau push forward. Almost 38 minutes gone here in the first half. There have been chances, but no score. And we'll see how this one ends up if we're looking back at that save by Laroche as perhaps being a major turning point in this game. But again, lots can happen. Taking that shot there was Jalou Lepointe, went off the defender and out of play.
And Langlois can't seem to get those laces tied. This is the third time I've seen her drop the gloves and lace back up those boots. They're Nike materials, if I think so. I don't like those boots. They're very good though. They have a bad habit of falling apart after a couple games.
Well, you're not going to get a sponsorship from Nike with talk like that.
Not one from the Mercurial boots, no.
Ball forward now, and Malo will just send it all the way back, sending Marquis, her teammate, to chase it over there to the far side. Ball laced up forward now. Again, the Cavaliers just take it and push it right back forward. Musambo, far side. Trying to move it up, but it goes out of play. As we now play into the 40th minute, 0-0 your score here. Scott Squires, James Wise, and our broadcast crew, Brian Fisher, our technical producer here today. Glad to have you with us. Final game of this fantastic tournament here in Halifax. An all-Quebec gold medal final here at the CCAA Women's Soccer Nationals. Kraut the Bars tried to run after that ball down the right side, but it's well beyond her, and it goes out of play.
And you kind of wonder, the longer that this game goes scoreless, who does it really benefit? To a certain extent, I'd say it almost plays the advantage of Garneau, because it's been a very energetic Champlain side. They're throwing a lot at Garneau offensively, and every time that they get stopped, or here's Remillard though on a run now. Never mind.
Marquis chasing Remillard down. Remillard's going to look to move around. Now, can she get it to the middle? Nice defense there by Marie-Laurence Marquis, as Remillard is quick, she's shifty, and she can create.
So it's almost that every stop that Garneau makes could just be a thorn in the side of this Champlain side. Garneau being very, very patient, not trying to rush anything on offense just yet.
Well, the Cavaliers have this corner. There's a head on it, just over off to the side as Beauvais went up high to the air and tried to notch that into the corner.
That's an unlucky set piece right there. Free header almost. It was contested, just couldn't quite get the contact. Could have easily sailed in at the far post.
Just about 41 minutes now into this first half. We are still scoreless, but there has been plenty of exciting action. And in the middle of a lot of it is the player who just kicked that ball forward, the Garneau keeper, Anne-Marie Laroche. She'll get it back again. Just moments ago, she made an electrifying save on a on-rushing Olga Musambo to keep it scoreless. Here's Malo. She'll loft that ball forward, trying to curl in underneath. It was Genois. Now it comes down to Blain. And the referee blows the whistle. Not sure if she's calling a foul there or what the call is.
I believe it is a foul against Garneau. It'll be a free kick taken quickly here by the Champlain side out to the left-hand side.
Trying to bring that ball along the ground and move it up. They don't get too far with it. A couple of players rush onto that ball trying to get ahead on it. Remillard in that mix now, and she comes away with it. Remillard from distance, and a fairly routine save for Laroche as she goes down and takes that into her waiting arms.
Good contact from Remillard, just not quite enough power though, and maybe a little straight in the direction. Could have been possibly better if she tried to swerve it into that far post maybe. Can't fault the effort though.
Not at all. Why not? The old saying, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Kraut the bars now, over into the middle of the pitch. Lemire goes over to her teammate on the backside. This is Mazzarello. Olivia Mazzarello moves it up. Masombo is in there trying to get a look. But the ball is won by Garneau, and they'll come back. Here's Malo for the Elan. Malo dumps it off to her teammate. Working with it is Metevier. They'll work it to the far side now. Once again back to Metevier. She steps around Remillard smartly. And then comes over to the middle of the field for Malo. Malo being watched by Blanc. She'll just move it up to the right. Ball lofted in there. Nobody home. And it goes off the upper portion of a Cavaliers defender. And out of play. So just a couple minutes left here in this first half. Don't imagine there'll be a whole lot of stoppage time added, as it's been a pretty free-flowing first half here. Ball comes down to Remillard. She puts her back to the defender and then gives it off to one of her teammates. Ooh, an inadvertent pass there, turned over. Here's a chance now. Garneau coming down with it after that turnover. A bit of a misplay by the Cavaliers. Almost created a chance for Garneau.
It can be called as a free kick. I thought it may have had a touch off the defensive player, but it will stay Champlain ball. 44th minute now, and we'll start to look towards the fourth official, see how much time will be added. There hasn't been any stoppage for injuries, so it can't be more than a minute or so, I'd say.
Cavaliers looking to thread that ball through, but only Garneau players there. They'll just go back to Laroche, and she'll just settle it right in front of her. Air horns and otherwise.
That was an awkward silence there where there's only air horns.
I didn't want to talk over the air horn.
Exactly. No one on the field was saying anything. The ball was kind of hanging in the air.
Great atmosphere here at Mainland Common, no question about it. This 2017 CCAA Women's National Gold Medal Final. It has been a dandy thus far, and we are so glad to have you with us wherever you're watching. Ball again at midfield. And the ball has been at midfield for the last few minutes, actually. Garneau will move it up now. Little chip ahead by Blanc. Remillard was there but couldn't get it cleanly. And again to midfield. Punted down. Remillard tried to run onto it. Now stepping up there was Blanc to push it forward. Remillard now will take it deep.
And there will just be 1 minute of stoppage time.
Remillard tried to make a move around the defender and tightrope that end line.
Remillard pleading with the referee on the sideline. It was called for a goal kick. She thought she'd earned herself a corner. And this could very well be the last offensive to be mounted here if Laroche can get it long to her companions in the dark blue. Is it dark blue or black? I really can't tell.
Yeah, it's black.
It's black. All right.
That's blocked down. Can they get a shot on goal from distance? No, they can't get control of it. But look at Kraut the bars again. She's been a thorn in the side of the back side of this defense for Garneau, as well as the keeper Laroche. And credit to Thalia Kraut the bars for just kind of creating that little bit of havoc there.
Maybe going to get one more assault on goal here are the Cavaliers, but that will be the whistle. 45 down, 45 at least to go, and maybe another 30 if it's still drawn after that.
Well, that's a good point to raise. The bronze and gold medal finals is where the overtime rules take effect. As you mentioned, 2 full 15-minute halves, and if still scoreless after that in overtime, we would then go to the penalty shootout with PKs, penalty kicks. But we're not there yet. We're scoreless through 45, another half to come. And before we slide off for our halftime break, James, just your comments on overall a pretty entertaining gold medal final first half.
I don't really know if I have much to say. I kind of feel like the game speaks for itself. These two teams are really swapping blows. You've seen good chances from both sides. Champlain maybe the small underdogs, but outside of that, I'd say it's a pretty even set match. Could go either way. Both coaches may want to make some adjustments at halftime, but I'd say that patience and maybe a little bit of determination and maybe just some risk on one team's side could make the difference. Could be anything. Here the Garneau Elan fans out on the field waving their logos in front of the camera. Very patriotic group out here today.
Well, these two teams combined, regular season, provincial playoffs, and the national playoffs, have suffered 2 losses combined. A third loss will either be hung on the Cavaliers, or the first loss on the season will go to the Elan. Which team will take a final loss on the season? Who will hoist the trophy? Stick around for the second half and perhaps more. We will bring it to you and we will find out. We got a dandy cooking here. It's an all-Quebec final. The Cavaliers and the Elan 0-0 after 1. We'll be back. second half just underway. This gold medal championship final, it's an all Quebec matchup. No goals in that first half. We'll see what adjustments that the two coaches have made to try and, more so from the Garneau side, James, as the Cavaliers really kind of had the majority of the positional play. They had the best opportunities on goal. There was that great chance by Massambo, and for me, Anne-Marie Laroche certainly was the star of that half for the Garneau Elan. So we'll see, again, from the Cavaliers side of things. I don't know that they need to make too many more adjustments. Just kind of do more of the same. And for Garneau, for the Elan, well, I'm sure that Vincent Cornoyer will probably want his side to maybe be a little more aggressive and to get back to those 3 points that he talked about off the beginning in terms of keys to success for his team, keeping the ball on the ground, but certainly the other two, their transition from defense to offense, as well as winning those 1v1 battles. The Cavaliers had much better success winning those 1v1 battles.
Well, Scott, we talked earlier about how important the first 5 to 10 minutes in any given half can be to dictate the outcome of a game. And I think for both teams, setting the tempo here early and impressing their character onto this game in this first 5-10 minutes can really play a big part. It's largely been a stalemate so far. No one's really taking control, so both teams are going to be eager to make their mark here early.
Cavaliers, as mentioned, wearing the white with black. Now going right to left on your screen, the 3-time defending champions, the Garneau Elan, wearing the black with neon green kits, and they are now going left to right. So here's a chance, struck off from about 18 yards there, and a nice effort on goal. And there is the super sub back into the game, James, Judy Gagnon, the leading goal scorer for this Garneau Elan team in the regular year with 10 markers. And she had a nice shot on goal there, but just did a little wide. So she has been subbed into the game. The coaching staff from the Garneau Elan telling me that Judy was not in the starting lineup, but they refer to, and that's their words, not mine, she's our super sub. So the 10-goal scorer on the regular year now into the game for the Garneau Elan, and we'll see if she can maybe light a little offensive spark for the team in black and green.
When you can't imagine that Champlain isn't going to have to, formulate some type of defensive response. A super sub alone is provides a lot of legs and speed, fresh legs coming in at halftime of a game or after the hour mark. But when you have a super sub that can put up such impressive numbers as 10 goals during the regular season, that's really a big gun that can't be ignored by a defense.
Again, the crowd continues to be very lively here at Mainland Common, and it's great. It's really adding to the atmosphere of this championship game. Scott Squires, James Wise, your on-air team, along with our technical producer, Brian Fisher. So glad to have you here for this one today. Final game of this 2017 CCAA Women's Championship. And here's a chance. Massambo took it off the chin. Can she settle it? Good job covering up on the back line as Massambo was in again. She was robbed in the first half, and she was sniffing around for more there. That ball forward. Now here's a chance back the other way. It's Gagnon. Can she get in? Gagnon right into the face of the keeper, Gosselin. And Gosselin down, and there is the 10-goal scorer, Gagnon. She's already had a couple of good looks at goal in the first couple of minutes here, James.
And you can tell both teams coming out of the locker room, very, very high tempo play. They want to get that first goal. Everyone knows that the first goal will give a substantial advantage, and really high tempo ball here on both sides, going coast to coast with the play.
Well, Gagnon, just a rookie, first-year player out of Longueuil, and imagine the difference that she is already having on her team, already giving Garneau a big lift offensively. She's already created more offense in 4 minutes than Garneau did for pretty much the entire first half. Cavaliers now, they'll look to put that ball down. Here's Remeyer. She can make some things happen herself for the Cavaliers. Heading toward the front of the goal is Krauthe Bars. Over on the far side was Massambo, but the ball just went too deep as Remeyer couldn't catch up.
Well, I talked to this at the halftime break with some other folks who were watching the game. They did talk about how much more physical this Champlain side is being versus the Garneau. As you look across the field, you can just tell that there's a substantial size advantage in terms of white jerseys over black jerseys. And I think that they're going to try and capitalize on that in the second half, possibly with some through balls and definitely on defense.
Well, it's interesting. You know, we've mentioned it several times, but these two teams from the Quebec Conference, they know each other very well. Provincial foes. So if one team had an idea what they needed to do to perhaps get an advantage over the other, it would be these two. They know each other well. So perhaps the Cavaliers thinking that maybe a little bit of step up of the physicality might really help them. We'll have to see if that continues. Turning with that ball is the player from the Cavaliers. That's number 3, Cheyenne Wiley-Gordon. She had 4 goals on the year as well for the Cavaliers. So she's checked into the game now, number 3 in white. So we'll see if Wiley-Gordon can add a little bit of that spark that we've seen Garneau bring to the Garneau Elan.
I mean, I don't think it's any surprise that both teams subbed in some new offensive players. And
here's a chance down there, and what a save again! This time, it's Gosselin. Laroche. What a save, and how many more chances are the Cavaliers going to get before they can get one by Gosselin, who has been aggressive. She's been quick. Laroche, and her anticipation has just been phenomenal. The way that she's been able to anticipate what's going to happen, almost like a second or two ahead, it's just been tremendous. And right now, the Garneau Elan can look back at Anne-Marie Laroche and say, thanks, that's why we're still 0-0.
Set piece here coming for Garneau. They're going to clip this into the 18-yard box, try and put a head on it. Just fall into the hands of Gosselin.
Into the 53rd minute. The Cavaliers looking to get toward the goal again. And at this point, I think the Cavaliers might be scratching their heads going, what do we need to do to get a ball by Laroche? What point will Laroche start to get into the heads of the Cavalier players?
She might already have. You know, it's one of those things where they've had several clean opportunities, and I remember Tim Howard, the great U.S. international goalkeeper, and is this going to be a foul? It won't. They're going to call a clean play there on the tackle from Wiley-Gordon, or on Wiley-Gordon, rather.
She had a dash down the sideline, and she's brought a little spark to the Cavaliers. So we've got Gagnon doing it for Garneau, and we've got Wiley-Gordon doing it for the Cavaliers. And now here come Garneau back up the field. The pace has certainly stepped up a little bit here in this second half, and we've got a yellow card.
Remeyard's going to be on the receiving end of that one after clipping, see who, I believe it was number 7 for Garneau, Drew Lapointe from behind. So that's the second or third yellow card produced here. Going back to LaRue, though, I remember Tim Howard, the great American goalkeeper, saying once that when the mentality that he takes into the goal is that every save that he makes in goal, he, in his mind, looms larger in the eyes of the striker. And I think that, you know, when you count up all the saves that Laroche has made, she's probably looking 2-3 times her normal size in front of goal for any on-running, rushing strikers in the Champlain Whites.
Well, and that's the thing. Laroche has been very aggressive. And we saw in the first half what we thought might have been a little bit of a mind game from Thalia Kraut-Thabarez trying to get into the head of the keeper Laroche from Garneau. But Garneau has not been affected at all. She's been aggressive as ever. And she's made 2 or 3 10-bell saves to keep this championship final at 0-0.
Here Garneau electing to slow the play down a little bit. I think that they're more comfortable at a more possession-based game rather than the through ball style that Champlain is trying to force into this match.
Here's Wiley-Gordon now. Wiley-Gordon had 4 goals again. 4 players, all with 4 goals, leading the way in the regular year for this Cavaliers team. Wiley-Gordon on this near side now, had it taken away from her. Garneau will bring it right back up. Blouin try to get it forward. That one off the back of Mazzarello. Comes right back down just in front of Blouin. She lets her teammate go by. Levagueur works it in again to Blouin. Nice little chip through. Here's a chance right from the front. And just skipping into the goal there and making the save was Gosselin. But the best look there again that we've seen this game, and it's all come from number 10, Judy Gagnon. 3 chances at goal here in this second half already.
When we talked about tactical changes that these teams might make at halftime, Lenglet, number 5, or Lenglois, number 5 in the black of Garneau, has shifted to the right wing-back position, which is not where we've seen her so far this tournament. We usually see her deployed as a right winger, sometimes as a right striker. She's going to sit as a wing-back position, I think mainly to do exactly what she's doing now, breaking out from the back line and pushing up onto offense where she can provide width and maybe a run into the box.
Gagnon, she's been dangerous in the first 10-plus minutes here. Look at that move from Gagnon along the line. Electrifying is Judy Gagnon. My goodness, when you look at the stat sheet sometimes and you see a player with 10 goals on the regular season, you don't understand just how good that player is till you see them play in front of your eyes. And Gagnon has come in here in the second half and has just been wonderful. That ball laced along the ground by Metivier. Now the Cavaliers will just regroup calmly. Krauthe-Bars will just go to the back line. She'll get it over on the line.
It seems like Garneau pressing up a little bit here, forcing Garneau to play out of the back, something that they seem to be struggling with a little bit.
Now these two teams have only had 1 goal in their 2 meetings on the year. 1 in the regular season, 1 in the Quebec Conference Final. No goals here yet, although there have been plenty of chances, but La Roche, who has seen most of them in the Garneau goal, has stopped them all. Nice play there, Massambo. Gets it up there for Wiley Gordon. Crosses it over. Rémillard is there. Couldn't quite reach the final mark.
And that's what we're talking about. Langlois here, sitting on the back line.
Mello heads it ahead. Now it's up to Blouin. You know who she's going to look for, and it's Gagnon. Gagnon, little give and go with Blouin. Gagnon's going to head right to the box. Blouin works around the defender. Slides it back calmly there to Letellier. Nice move there. Letellier has it back again. She'll take the crack on goal. Letellier scores! Letellier to the top corner. And just like that, the defending champions Garneau-Élan have the lead. It's 1-0.
It doesn't get better than that. 20 yards, 25 yards out. Looks up, sees a shot at goal, takes a crack, and finds the upper right-hand corner of the net. That is top-class soccer here in the CCAA.
That absolutely is a world-class goal. I don't care what level you're watching or what field you're on. That strike by Letellier absolutely electrifies this crowd and has put Garneau into the lead 1-0.
And I think now we're about to see a lot of sparks flying on the field now. Champlain now forced to chase this game, commit numbers forward. We know that they like to play direct to begin with the likes of Wiley Gordon, Massambo, Rémillard, and the sort of offense that they have around those players. Let's see what they can do here.
So now the pressure will begin to mount on this St. Lambert Cavalier team as they find themselves in a familiar position, and that is trying to catch up to the Garneau-Élan. So far this season, it's been a story of almost for St. Lambert when it comes to playing this Garneau team. A 0-0 draw in the regular year, a 1-0 defeat in the championship final for Quebec. And the Cavaliers had the majority of the great chances in the first half. They had a chance here in the second. La Roche stoned them time and time again. Gagnon came on here for Garneau in this half, had some chances, but it was Letellier, just that gorgeous strike from distance, finding the top corner beyond an outstretched Rebecca Gosselin. Nothing that the keeper Gosselin could do. That was just labeled, and it is 1-0 for Garneau. What a turn of events here in the second half.
Absolutely, and I think this is a it's going to be a testament over the next moment to see how Champlain can respond. Garneau is kind of expected, and another shot.
Another shot just off the crossbar. Oh my, Garneau. She wears 10 on her back. She had 10 on the regular year, and she almost had 1 right there.
Well, how? It looks like we have a substitute coming in here for Garneau. I believe it's 20 going off and 14 coming on. We'll check the rosters there. So 20 Letier heading off in place of number 14, Giroux Arita for Garneau, maybe to shore up the defense there, although Giroux Arita coming in at what looks to be a center attacking mid position. What I was saying is Garneau is the expected victor here. They are, maybe not substantial, but they are considered the the favorite. They've been here before. They've won the last 3. And so we kind of anticipate them to be a little bit more comfortable in the situation because they've been in this championship before. Champlain has not, and not only have they not been in this championship, they haven't been in this championship and trailed by 1. How they respond over the next 29 minutes will really tell a lot about where their program is and how these players are in the game of soccer. And I think that they've shown every bit of grit and determination so far that should demonstrate that they can come back in this.
Well, that will be the big test for the Cavaliers after, for the most part, having the better of the play in the first half and having chances that they just got stoned by Anne-Marie Laroche time and again. To find themselves down now, they're going to have to do a little gut check here and find some intestinal fortitude to buckle down, stay to their game, and keep coming because they've shown that they can play with this Garneau team. It's just you now got to make sure that you don't let that psyche of, gosh, every time we play this team, they beat us. The Cavaliers can't let that creep into their mindset. They've got to keep coming. They've got time, but they've got to make sure that they don't let Garneau get inside their heads. This Garneau team, as close as you'll find to a dynasty in Canadian college and university sports, as we mentioned off the top of the broadcast.
Another yellow card here. Langlois picking this one up. She had a talking to with the referee in the first half. Cards beginning to pile up here in this one, and I wouldn't be surprised if we were to see a little bit more color coming from the referee's pocket over the rest of this 28 or so minutes, possibly more if we go to stoppage.
We'll have to keep an eye on that, certainly, but just to finish that thought, this Garneau team, as dynasty-like as you will find, 3 championships in a row, in the championship final at Nationals 5 years in a row, and they've made an appearance in 9 of the last 12. So that can sometimes just be enough of a reputation sometimes that can get into the heads of your opponent. But the Cavaliers, again, they've been every bit the equal here of this Garneau team. But Judy Gagnon certainly made a difference subbing on here to start the second half, and that just exquisite strike off the foot of Marie-Christine Letellier is the difference right now. It is 1-0 into the 64th minute. Cavaliers trying to end this string of national titles for Garneau. This team out of Quebec City knows all too well what it's like to be in a championship game with the lead. Gagnon goes in there. Good challenge coming from Beauvais. Good work on the back line by number 12 in white, Beauvais. Up toward midfield now, it's Lemire. And Lemire, as the ball goes forward, Lemire went down to the turf, but she's up and okay.
Looks like there'll be a foul. I didn't see who on it. Won't result in the card. We'll just give a free kick right around the midfield stripe, and it's taken quickly here by Champlain.
Blant moves it over. That ball is lofted in. That won't give any problems for the keeper as Laroche just watches it float right by her and on a play.
Garneau faithful really making their presence known here on the right side of our double-decker bus. 65th minute now. 25 to go for Champlain to make an equalizer.
Another player that you would look for the Cavaliers would be number 11, Stephanie Kouzas. She scored a goal in their semifinal win, and she has shown some moments where she can turn the heat up on the offensive side of things. So this is getting to the point now where you kind of want to start looking at who are going to be those players on the Cavaliers that are going to step up and try and make a difference. We know what Alexia Remillard can do. We've seen Masombo have a couple of chances. I mean, she got robbed point blank on a chance in the first half. So Masombo's going to have to be there. Lemire, certainly Kouzis.
Well, Lemire has just checked off for Champlain. She will take a seat and bring on Chloe DeCellis. I'm sorry, looking at the wrong French roster. Pardon me. Beatrice Provençal, number 4 in white for the Champlain Cavaliers, to perhaps add some offensive impetus to this Champlain side.
So it's 1-0. The Garneau Elan leading this CCAA Women's Championship Final. Working with that ball now is Mazzarello. Mazzarello tried to get it forward. Remillard went up into the air and went tumbling down, but she's okay. Far side play now for Giroux Lepointe. Down the line, there's Gagnon running after it. Gagnon like an Energizer bunny out there, just no quit in number 10 in black, as she forces every play, every issue when she's around the ball. Into the 67th minute. It's getting into that time now, James, where if you're the Cavaliers, you start looking at the clock and maybe pressing just a little bit. Yes, there's lots of time, but in the soccer world, 22 minutes is not really that much.
No, not at all.
That ball lifted in there and lurking around again. Up front that time was Blouin.
Well, and we talked on day one, I remember, the Cavaliers played one of the first games, and the thing that we talked about them is how they don't play with an offensive shape. They play with kind of a free-flowing shape that kind of molds itself and morphs itself based on the defense that it's confronted with. And it'll be interesting to see how that free-flowing shape and offense will change now, not only that they're playing against Garneau, but that they're playing behind a goal. Are we going to see a 2 or 3 at the back? Are we going to see, more wing-back engagement? What is it going to look like from Champlain? I think they have some questions that they'll need to answer very quickly now to get back in this one. And the Garneau fans are really whooping it up on the sidelines.
That ball thrown in by Lavigueur after it was Blouin, but it goes out. And now we're also going to see if the Cavaliers kind of get put under the pressure of some defensive weight from the Garneau Elan. Garneau very comfortable playing with a lead. They're going to try and stifle this Cavaliers team, so the Cavaliers are going to have to really try to buckle down and try and break through. Spinning with it is Mazzarello. She goes up toward midfield. That's intercepted there, and Garneau just goes to the back line. Garneau kind of doing to the Cavaliers here in the second half what the Cavaliers did to Garneau in the first. He's calmly controlling the back line and having the possession on the other side of the field. So kind of a tale of two halves here. Ball chipped forward. Remillard tried to get it ahead. She'll go after it now. Remillard couldn't get there. It's picked off. Sent right back toward midfield. Good job by the Cavaliers to try and keep it in. But Garneau, they get to the ball, they'll send it down. There's Gagnon once again, forcing the Cavaliers to go back. That's a dangerous play, going right back to the same side where Gagnon is. But it's cleared out of harm's way and back over to the Garneau side of the field. Remillard battling for it over there, 1v1 battle. Garneau wins the ball, and then it'll go out of play on the far sideline. It'll be a throw-in for the Cavaliers as we are now into the 70th minute.
It's good to see all the other teams are shuffling in here for the medal ceremonies coming up after this game. All the familiar teams. Like, good to see them not in their jerseys and on the pitch, but as citizens of the world. That's right. And this will be a foul from behind. No card produced. And played early here by Garneau.
So Gagnon for Garneau and Frédéric Saint-Jean for the Cavaliers. Got twisted up there, but everyone's okay. Here's a chance now again. Gagnon, she's got it. Gagnon to the right, shoots. Save made. The dangerous Gagnon once again.
We've seen a lot of bodies hitting the deck out there. A lot of reckless tackles and late tackles. People playing the body, really desperate to get the ball back.
Kraut the bars. Strong first half. Working it over to the far side here.
And it looks like there's a player down for Garneau. We're going to see a jersey here when they get up. I don't think it's Langlois, but it might be. No, it's number 7.
Giroux Lapointe.
Giroux Lapointe. I don't. She seems to be very calm, so I imagine it's maybe a cramp or a muscle or a hamstring, something that she's familiar with. Although she seems to be walking fine. Maybe it's just disappointed that she didn't get a call and was going to stay down. Yeah, it was an interesting little exchange there.
So it looks like we're just about ready to get back underway. Coming up to 71 minutes played in this championship gold medal final. Scott Squires, James Wise, and our production crew. Glad to have you along. Brian Fisher doing all the hard work behind the scenes, operating camera and everything else here today.
And it looks like 15 will come in for Giroux Lapointe. That's Maxime Norbert. So Lapointe, something must have happened to her. We hope that she's okay, and she is getting some treatment on the sidelines. Either way, we are 72nd minute now. 18 minutes of regulation, more or less, to play in this one. Champlain still trail 1.
Well, the Cavaliers, they haven't scored on Garneau in 2 previous meetings, and they've got 18 minutes or less to score one here to at least equalize. Down there is Blouin. She of the 3 goals on the regular season, and it goes out of play. This is exactly what Garneau want. They just want to keep the Cavaliers hemmed up in their own end of the field, not let them get any kind of offensive push going. Meanwhile, up the field, you've got Masombo hoping to get something. Krauthe-Bars up there as well, along with Wiley Gordon. Those players are just dying to get their foot on a ball and be able to direct it toward LaRoche. LaRoche, we might want to nickname her Clean Sheet, as she does not give up very many.
I believe she hasn't conceded this tournament.
Here's Masombo getting spun around there as Lavageur grabbed her by the arm and spun her around. Gagnon tried to make a move there. Good defensive play by Saint-Jean, and she stood her ground. Over here now once again, this is Mello. Smartly controlling that ball to the far side. Garneau now will just kind of keep it around that midfield area. Masombo decided to step in. Nice quick move there by Langlois. Langlois will give it off now and try to make a run herself. Here she is, Langlois, taking it down deep into the corner. She'll stop there. Langlois gives it up, and the ball kicked out of play.
Good play there by the defender not to give up the corner, but instead to turn it into a throw, and Langlois was very, I guess, obvious of what her intent was playing in that cross. If she couldn't get the cross in, she wanted to have a corner. And she's now killing a little bit of clock here as she has to fetch a ball.
And another sub coming in now as they come fast and furious here in the game.
This will be number, I didn't quite catch it. I believe it's 14 for 20. Nope, it's not 14.
I think it's 24 for, I think it's
24 for 20 maybe.
Yeah, I think it's Naomi Longpré coming in. Lefebvre Lalonde heads out, so Longpré into the game.
And Wiley Gordon, it looks like, is down. We didn't even see her go down until just a moment ago. This might be a cramp clutching the back of her right calf. It didn't look like she was hit. I thought when I scanned the field, everyone was still standing, but then she went down, and yeah, it does look like a cramp. We see the trainers out there applying the stretch to hopefully loosen that muscle up. I'm not surprised, to be honest, with the temperatures out there as frigid as they are. I'm actually surprised you haven't seen more people having their legs seize up in these temperatures.
So both teams head to their respective benches. 74-45 and counting on the game clock. So this stoppage will obviously tack on a little to the added time, which will inevitably come at the end of regulation. And 1-0 is your score. A goal scored about midway through this half by Marie-Christine Letellier on a just explosive strike to the top corner beyond the outstretched arms of Rebecca Gosselin in the Cavaliers' goal. And that is the only goal, and that is the difference right now in this gold medal final. The Garneau Elan looking to make it 4 consecutive CCAA national championships. And this team from St. Lambert, the Cavaliers, trying to end that streak. So we are back underway. Hopefully we'll see Wiley Gordon back out there, and that is indeed just a cramp.
And here she comes.
The ball lifted into the air, goes off the head and down now to Crowther Burrs, who just lobs it high. And trying to reach in there to get a head on it was Blouin, but it's whistled down.
15 minutes to go, plus there will be stoppage time. I think we can be quite certain of that with the 2 injuries that we've had so far.
Cavaliers need to move that ball forward.
But this Garneau defense really has just been a stalwart one, not allowing much past the midfield line.
Giroux Arita tried to step into that. She had it blocked down, and now it's Massambo. Olga Massambo tried to make a move upfield with it, and again, we get a stoppage.
And again, I'm not actually sure what the stoppage was. I guess there was a foul back there. I would have thought they would have let Massambo play the advantage since she had possession, but apparently not.
That was well behind the play, but it's whistled down and taken there now. Provençal. She works it over. Gets it to her mates Beauvais, who works it to the far sideline. Remeillard gives it up now. It comes back into the middle for Provençal. They'll go back to the keeper, Gosselin, who will come up near side for Saint-Jean. Frédéric Saint-Jean moves it up to Crowther Burrs. Comes back to the near sideline. They need to get the ball forward. Here's a chance now as it bounces over the defender. Crowther Burrs trying to get the advantage. Loses it. Massambo comes in to help out. Here's Massambo. And it's cleared away. Good job by the by the Elan player from winning that ball. But again, it's controlled now by the Cavaliers. Provençal had it taken away from her.
You were waiting when they were going to clip it long to Remeillard, and here it comes now.
Remeillard with the shot long below the ground, and again Laroche makes the save as Alexia Remeillard kind of on an angle, and she looked to be falling to the side a little bit, but got a good shot away low to the ground. But Laroche had a good eye on it. Makes the save, and she kicks it right back down the field and will send everybody in chase.
Good shot by Remeillard, testing the goalkeeper. That ball did bounce out a little bit. Maybe if he had been there, could have been there for the poke in, but Laroche really has just been a stone wall in front of the goal. And here's Remeillard again, breaking with some pace.
Remeillard trying to race to that ball, but it's intercepted. Taken down to the corner. Remeillard does a good job. Wiley Gordon in there trying to dig forward as well. But you're absolutely right. Anne-Marie Laroche. Just a great performance here today.
I mean, I think in most cases, if we're thinking of player of the match, we think of the goal scorer if the game were to end as is. But I'd say if the game were to end at this moment, it wouldn't be the goal scorer I'd be handing the player of the game to. It would be Laroche, purely because of the stops that she's had to make and the interventions she's made that have kind of prevented this game from being, what could be 2-3-1 in favor of Champlain rather than
Look
Garneau.
at Gagnon coming in now. Gagnon charging in there, almost had a chance.
It's amazing that they keep her on the bench for a whole half.
It was Mazzarello that time who got in her way. But just getting back to that, finishing that thought on Laroche, if you're coach Vincent Cornoyer and the rest of this Garneau Elan team, as well as the administration in the athletics department, you're pretty happy. She's a rookie. First year out of Quebec City, and so you would think she'll be around for a few years for this Garneau team.
You might want to call up the Montreal Impact ladies. They may have a new signing.
Almost 80 minutes played. Now time really becomes a factor for the St. Lambert Cavaliers.
When you look here, 5 bodies behind this ball for Garneau. They're not taking any chances. I think they'd opt to actually protect this 1-0 lead rather than try and force anything. They're playing with a full, almost four defensive players and then 2 defensive midfielders. Who would usually just see Malo deployed on her own.
And that was a nice ball into the corner there, and Nobert almost got a foot on it at the side of the goal. Back the other way now. Intercepted once again. Nobert. Stepped over there by Mazzarello. Mazzarello being challenged from behind by Malot. Gets it up to Kraut-Thibers. Kraut-Thibers tries to make a move there. Tried to kick it forward. Blocked down by Malot. Here's a long ball through. Blocked down there. Sending it long was Mazzarello. But again, it's intercepted by that back end of Garneau and then sent away. Cavaliers are getting to that point now where they just need to kind of throw caution to the wind and put everything in toward the front of the goal and just hope for something magical.
I talked about this in the past, though. Teams don't practice throwing all caution to the wind. You know, ideally a team, every coach coaches a team with structure, with a formulaic nature that doesn't, rely on pumping balls long or, throwing an excess number of bodies forward. Anytime that a team has to do that, it's taking it out of its, original state of nature, so to speak. And I think that that's a very difficult thing to do, particularly in a game like this where you're, there's a gold medal on the line.
Cavaliers. Wiley Gordon gets it over there. Blanc up front now. Massambo in the middle. Massambo trying to get there. Look at Laroche coming out and actually bowled over her own teammate right in front of Massambo.
And they're saying Massambo fouled.
And that is an interesting call as Massambo was going in. They tried to feed her the ball. Massambo had a defender in her back pocket. Laroche, as she's done all game long, went aggressive, came out to challenge, and Massambo kind of stepped aside, and it was Laroche who actually barreled into her own player. 82 minutes have come off the clock. So 8 minutes of regulation and whatever added time there will be from the game official. The Cavaliers, desperation time for this team from just outside Montreal. From the Champlain area, Longueuil, just across the St. Lawrence from the beautiful city of Montreal, Quebec. And of course, the defending champs from Quebec City, looking to hold on here and claim their 4th consecutive title. On paper, you would have expected that these two Quebec teams could very well meet here in this championship final. And that is the way it played out. These rivals, these fierce competitors from the RSEQ Quebec Conference, battling it out here for gold. Chasing it down is Saint-Jean. Back to the keeper, Gosselin. She doesn't waste any time. Speaking of time, under 7 minutes of regulation. There's Gagnon. Gagnon, so tricky. Down to the turf. Good job of defending her. Near side now. Genois floats it into the middle. Gagnon was there. And a collision.
And they're going to call they're going to blow the whistle dead here. As Gagnon is slow to get up along with the defender there. Can catch the number 24. That will be Longpre, who applied the pressure. Longpre is up and seems to be doing okay. Gagnon is a little bit slower, but it looks like she's... Well, all right, there she's up, and referee not going to call over the trainers, so no need for either player to step to the sidelines, and it'll just be a drop ball.
Gagnon, again, another rookie. Their leading goal scorer, a first-year player. Their top-flight goaltender, a first-year player. No reason to believe that, regardless of the outcome here, that we won't see this Gagnon team in the national championship for years to come. Here's a long ball forward now, and 4-5 players back on the back line for Gagnon just defending. Here it is from Massambo, and now a chance. Kraut-Thibers, can she get a foot to it? Blocked down. Kraut-Thibers again can't get a good shot away, and a great opportunity there for the Cavaliers as Massambo kind of got it started, and Kraut-Thibers tried to finish but just couldn't get the clean look.
And it looks like there's a player now down for Garneau. Garneau, let's see. Looks like number 17 can't get a read on that jersey. It was. She's back up on her feet, though.
So that's Levager, number 17, Zoe Levager. So she's back up.
And here's another sub coming in for Champlain. Number 3, Wiley Gordon will come off to be replaced by Beauvoir, number 11. Oh, I'm sorry, Kouzis, number 11. Kouzis, I believe, may have gone off at halftime and will be reintroduced here in the dying minutes of the second half. Try and get that, much-needed goal for this Champlain side, and that'll be a foul and a card here. It's number 16 from Garneau.
So getting that card is Audrey Genois. So she gets the yellow card. So we've seen more cards in this game than we've seen the entire tournament combined, I think, James.
5. It's a lot of cards.
Lots of players getting booked. Free kick will be taken here by Olivia Mazzarello.
Big opportunity here for Champlain.
Into the box, headed away, and out of danger. Cavaliers quickly onto that ball. They'll go to the back 9 now and try to regroup. Pushing it forward is Provençal. And it's just jammed right back down onto the foot of Gagnon. Gagnon has Langlois now. Langlois gets to the ball nicely. Gagnon will look to run onto it. Heading toward the front was Genois, but couldn't feed it to her.
Genois, the whole back post was open. It's still open for that matter. If the ball could squeak through, and Musambo just going to get it away. He needs to make a cleaner decision than that with so few support options higher up the pitch.
Here's Longpre. Longpre has an arm right up in her chin, but moves the ball forward. Aggressive defense there coming from Genois. Far side now. Giving chase is Remiard over there for the Cavaliers. 1v1 battle right along that far sideline. 87 minutes have come off the clock. Only 3 of regulation left, plus whatever gets added on.
Would you care to place a bet?
I'm going to go for 4 minutes.
That's what I was going to say. For the sake of argument, I'm going to go with 3.
Well, I'm sure if you're a Cavaliers fan, you're hoping the number will be larger, and if you're the fans of Garneau, the less added time, the better.
And Garneau might be hoping that the batteries in that light board burn out before the 89th minute comes around, the 90th minute rather.
1-0 is your score. Scott Squires, James Wise, and our broadcast team bringing you this exceptionally exciting All-Quebec CCAA Women's Soccer National Gold Medal Final. The 3-time champs, Garneau Elan leading 1-0. A goal here in the second half, the difference. The Cavaliers had so many chances. By my count, 3 or 4 10-bell saves by Anne-Marie Laroche, the Garneau keeper. And she made enough saves to keep it 0-0 until Letelier could give Garneau the lead. Here they come again. Saint-Jean. They've got to get the ball forward. Musambo has it go over her head. She tries to stay with it. Olga Musambo, an aggressive shove off there, almost stiff-arming the defender there as Lavaguer felt the wrath of Musambo.
As a small soccer player, there's nothing worse than being on the receiving end of one of those. You go into the position like, yeah, I'm going to D up hard, and then you just get bodied. It is clean. It is not pleasant, though.
Here comes Gagnon. She's dangerous. Can she get space? Gagnon from a sharp angle for a corner. No.
I don't know if she's expecting to run into one of her teammates at that back post. I think Garneau's just more content to sit back and keep all the bodies behind the ball at this point. Some tired legs out there for the girls in black.
89 minutes have come off the clock. The Cavaliers desperate to get something going. Kouzis, one of their offensive leaders with 4 goals on the air. Remiard into the middle. Musambo was there, but it's blocked down. Everybody up front now. Remiard, Blain, Kouzis, Musambo. They're all up there looking for it. Krathibers tries to get ahead. Comes back outside. Provençal tries to block it down and is just cleared away down the field. Saint-Jean will go back. Gagnon jogging after her. Stepping around Gagnon was Saint-Jean. Tried to move it up. Gagnon now, this could be, and no, Gagnon was offside. I was about to say it could be a dangerous opportunity, but it's whistled down, and we are about to see the 90th minute come across.
Garneau will take a seat now to bring back on Giroux Lapointe.
Well, I'd certainly say that the super sub, Judy Gagnon, did her job. She came on to start the second half. She was electrifying. She got the offense going for this Garneau team. She created chances, and she kind of lit a spark for the rest of the squad. So she takes a seat, and that ball long forward, everybody up looking for it for the Cavaliers.
And there will be 3 minutes of stoppage time. I'm telling you.
So I owe you a cheeseburger.
Man, Dan and I were talking today. I've been on fire when it comes to like the semi-guest stuff. We were going to hit the Casino Nova Scotia after the game tonight just to see how far the luck would go.
Apparently you should ride 3 red according to that. Here come the Cavaliers now. They've got 3 minutes. 3 minutes. And again, time now in the hands of the official. Cavaliers back the other way. Trying to race back is Beauvais. Beauvais trying to cover up in the middle. Saint-Jean stumbled on defense.
Drew Lapointe just going to kick it out here to our teammate. And just like that, Drew Lapointe. Oh, and they're going to coffin corner it here.
And look at Saint-Jean hog-tying up the player down in the corner.
And it'll be a Garneau foul, apparently.
So interesting there, as it appeared to be number 13, Frédéric Saint-Jean for the Cavaliers, who kind of wrapped up the player on Garneau and took her to the turf. But play carries on.
Looking down on the sideline is a bunch of Garneau fans and Andrew Burrows, the ball boy, lining up at the sideline to cheer on this Garneau team. The Cavaliers got to get something on the board soon, or else they could be heading home with the silver.
That ball forward. The Cavaliers have not beaten the keeper all game long. The Cavaliers have not put a goal past this Garneau team all season long. Comes down to Laroche. And she doesn't want to take any chances at all. She tumbles to the ground. Longpre was in on top of her, but Laroche, as she's done all game long, keeping things tidy in her crease.
Again, it's just too slow from the Champlain defense here. They've got to pump the ball forward. And of course, when you do, you have 7 black shirts waiting on it, just praying for that ball to come down.
The Garneau faithful, their fans, the players on the bench, the coaches, all waiting to erupt in celebration. Will it be a 4th consecutive national title for this team from Quebec City?
And the referee puts the whistle to the lips. Takes it away, though.
Let's wait and see. Longpre puts it in. Not much time left. Garneau that close. Longpre curls it in, keeping an eye on the official. She's watching her arm. There's a long ball in from Mazzarello. And the whistle in the mouth. It's coming soon. The anticipation building here in the stands on the sidelines.
She's going to wait for the ball to be played in, and then she's going to call it.
This team from Quebec City, the Garneau Elan, will be your 4-time CCAA Women's Soccer National Champions. Let the celebration ensue. Garneau has won 1-0, defeating a very game and an energetic side from St. Lambert. The Cavaliers gave it all they could, but at the end of the day, the Garneau Elan, too much, and when it counted, they counted a goal here in the second half, and they are indeed 4-time champs, back to back to back to back. Tremendous performance by Garneau, and no performance better than that of their keeper, Anne-Marie Laroche. And as you see, the Cavaliers a little despondent. They gave it all they could. But this Garneau team, very experienced, very deep. But if you look at it, it's a team game, but certainly, if not for Anne-Marie Laroche, the keeper for Garneau in that first half, it could very well have been 2 or 3-0 for the Cavaliers after 45.
I will be astounded if Anne-Marie Laroche does not receive Player of the Game for this Garneau side. Just an outstanding performance between the sticks that really kept them in it. So that will be it. 1-0, the final here between these two fringe sides, and I think for Champlain, this is a hard pill to swallow. I've said that for most of the teams that have lost today or this weekend. being so close, getting to this championship where usually they only take the number one team from a conference. They are advanced here on the wild card. It's difficult to come all this way and go home with the silver. They say all the time in the Olympics, years later when they talk to medalists, or at least at the time, the silver medalists are much less happy than the bronze medalists, because you're so close to getting that number one spot and you have to settle for second. Whereas if you're the bronze, you're kind of just glad that you got a medal to begin with. And so I think that that's definitely going to be the case here. They're not going to be pleased with the silver medal. I think the silver lining around the silver medal for them should be, though, look at what you did as a team coming in from a very competitive conference. Look at how well you represented your school, how well you represented Quebec soccer as a whole. You and Garneau stomped everyone else in this tournament and made this an all-Quebec affair in the final. And I'd say that the good thing about maybe losing to Garneau in the final is this gives you fuel for next season. You can bet that when they get to, winter soccer and spring soccer, when it's indoor sessions and it's unpleasant and they're doing suicides and they're doing, up downs and they're doing all sorts of fitness drills that are terrible and aren't fun, they're going to have this feeling in their stomach of losing to Garneau, not just in regular season, not just in the playoffs for the, their conference, at the national level. And unlike other teams who maybe won't get the chance to go back to nationals, they will get the opportunity to meet this Garneau side on the field next season and, maybe get a little payback. That being said, Garneau is not afraid of anybody right now. 4 consecutive national titles in women's soccer is virtually unprecedented. I haven't checked, but, sounds like it'd be unprecedented, and they really are, just adding another gem to that crown that they've worn for 4 years now, or 3 years now.
Well, it was interesting while you were wrapping that up, a meeting just to the side of midfield with the St. Lambert Cavaliers. Christoph Michik and the coaching staff gathered the team around, and they were out there for a good 3 or 4 minutes just having a team huddle and talking things over. And it would have been interesting to be in the middle of that conversation. And that is the interesting kind of juxtaposition of sports. While that was going on, down at the other end of the field, the Garneau Elan jumping up and down in their huddle and celebrating wildly as they are, again, the 4-time national champions. And when it came right down to it, you kind